Ching, ching.
Okay, mind if you look at the camera?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, I got a new phone, so I'm just like hooked. I haven't had, like I haven't changed my phone in like 7 years.
What phone is
This
it?
is Huawei.
Which one?
It's the Y9 2019. I just got it yesterday. So I'm like touching, feeling, playing. Like a kid, new toy.
Huawei should sponsor you then.
Like, yeah, sponsor me. I'll put their logo. Give me money.
Can you imagine, man, if you sponsored by Huawei, it'd be just like Gal Gadot.
Oh, please. Huawei.
Okay, let's gonna prepare this. Alright. So, 3, 2, 1. Good evening.
Good evening, Daniel.
How are you doing?
Good, bro. Good. How are you?
I'm doing alright. How was your trip back home from Singapore?
I just want, like, we came back the very next day from the fight. So it wasn't really, I just wanted to come back home, really, because I had so many other things going on for me besides the fight. But as soon as the fight was over, I kind of put that aside and focused on the next priority, which is my wedding plans.
Oh, okay. Wedding bells ringing.
Yeah. So there's a lot. Like I need to immediately kind of like digest whatever that's happened and then move on. Like can't. You enjoy it for a day or two, then after that you just gotta move on again. Back to the gym, back to the same thing.
So now we're just gonna get straight into the details of what happened in Singapore. So would you like to tell the camera in detail what exactly happened from start to finish?
Oh my god. So apparently he hurt his ribs. I don't know what exactly happened to his ribs, but he hurt his ribs. So he was defending the takedown. So it was really fast. It all happened really fast. Even when you watch the video, it was like really super fast. And then people were wondering like, whoa, what happened? Why did he, why like it just suddenly stopped? A lot of people didn't even see him tap because of the camera angle was in such a way that some people didn't see him tap. Yeah, so a lot of people didn't see that. So there was a lot of questions. But if you watch the replay from a different angle, he tapped because as soon as I was going for the takedown, I was trying to kind of like, I wasn't really intending to slam him, but because he was holding on to the rope, I just wanted to get him off the ropes. I think that kind of like had a lot of momentum and I just landed on the side. I was really holding on tight to him and I knew that the way he's bending, he's just gonna like concede the takedown, So just slammed him on the floor and then I locked his legs in place. I was already like, like figure four my legs. And I was like just getting ready to unload as I go on to mount, but then he just starts tapping. But as soon as I took him down, I heard him wince like really loud. So he was just like, ugh! And then I was like, oh fuck. But then you don't really, it's like even in a fight, sometimes when you take a punch, you just go oof. It happens. It's like in sparring or whatever. You take a knee or you take a kick to the stomach and then you shake it off and then you come back. I thought it was one of those things when I took him down because of the slam. I thought he was just like, it knocked the wind off him. But no, he couldn't like, I kind of heard like a pop. There was a lot going on in the fight. So you don't really, you hear things. So I'm like, okay, I think I heard a pop. I don't know if it's ribs or it's what it is, but yeah. And then he tapped. I was just like, oh, what happened?
Was it like, that fight went really quick?
It was so, it was because like, the first minute, the game plan was the game plan was pretty straightforward. The things that we worked on in the gym, in camp is we knew this guy is a Thai guy. He could be a good striker. We don't really have much background on this guy. So we had to prepare every scenario. If he's a really good striker, I didn't want to stand up and strike with him. You want to be smart. You want to take his, you don't want to take any damage in the fight. So, just for, sustaining your career and stuff like that. But then I knew that, okay, if he's Thai, I'm going to try to take him down. But then I found out like he has a wrestling background. Like he went to SEA Games to compete in wrestling, representing Thailand. So, and that's a good thing as well, because then in a way it kind of made me feel like I needed to work on my wrestling as well. I couldn't like overlook. I knew like, okay, I have this guy in front of me who's a real problem, you know, like striking or wrestling or whatever it is. So I needed to prepare every area. I've put myself in the worst in camp, like the worst positions, you know, like even in striking or wrestling or jiu-jitsu. So the game plan was pretty straightforward, you know, feeling out process for the first minute, maybe just feeling out, you know, managing my space and my distance. I knew that I had good reach, and you know, working in Bali was like probably with Coach Mike, I learned a lot about managing my distance. If I knew the guy was a good striker, I didn't want to stand in front of him and strike spot. You know, it's like small gloves, 5-round gloves. You're gonna get hit, and I didn't want to take that. So I managed my distance quite well. He was throwing his leg kicks, but what I was looking for, I did kind of wanted to wait for him to throw like a higher kick, and then I wanted to kind of like strike and go for the takedown, like use that as a setup. But he threw like some sort of like a weird low kick. I caught it, threw that right hand, stunned him. And then as he moved back towards the ring, I straight away shoot. And that's, you know, like he was holding on to the ropes for a bit, I guess, because with the ropes, it's a little bit harder. You know, it's not like your cage. So people get a little bit flustered when they're at the ring. So I think naturally he just went out and tried to just like hold on to the ropes. I tried to lift him, couldn't. Second time, I was just trying to drive him. And then the third one, I wanted to lift. And that's when I got the slam and got the takedown, and he just tapped. And you know, it's crazy when I look back, and it's all like what, 40, 50 seconds?
Less than a minute.
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, you know, so it's fast, you know, so it wasn't really the outcome I was looking for, but I'll take it, you know, I'll take the win, you know, it's.
Okay, now the next one is. Next one we're going to talk about, actually, we're just going to go back to before you got into One Warriors at least, not one championship yet, right? As far as I know, you only had one pro MMA fight. That's as far as I know. Am I correct on that, or am I wrong?
Yeah, that's okay. So I think I can't even remember which year is this, but many years ago I competed in Mayhem. I think Mayhem was. What was it, like the first MFC or something like that. So there was this event called Mayhem. That was really, I can't even remember how many years ago. And I fought a guy who fought in martial combat, Kai Chi. And that was my first MMA fight. And that was pro rules, you know? It didn't count. Like there was no record of it. But that event took place in Sunway Pyramid. It was like that mall. That was ages ago, very, very long time ago. So yeah, that happened then. And then after that, I did a couple of MFC fights. I fought at...
The last MFC. That was,
before that, there was also an MFC that I fought in. Wow, what was it? I can't remember, but it was in Jalan Ipoh. They had that event in Jalan Ipoh. Yeah, and that was long time ago. So that was the second MFC.
You're talking about Muay Fit
Yeah.
Fighting Championship, right?
No, it was called Malaysian Fighting Championship as well.
Oh, back then as well?
Yeah.
This was almost like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah, and then now there's this one. Then this Malaysian Fighting Championship under Muay Fit. Yeah. I think the old one was also under Muay Fit because I fought on the same card. I fought on the same card with, I think it was Peter Davis on the same card as well.
Yeah. People like F-Ting for that one.
Yeah.
F-Ting for in MFC. Will Chope, no doubt.
Yeah, Will Chope as well. So, yeah, like I guess some of those fights were never really recorded or something like that. But I've had those fights. And then after that, I went into Mima because that was the next best thing for amateur fighters who are upcoming, and you know, like, and I competed the first season after that. Yeah, I got into that. Right after Mima, I did first season.
First season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, first season, all the way to the finals. I met Alan Chong. Alan Chong was our ex-teammate. my senior, so to speak. Yeah. And then yeah, there were like guys like Keanu, Ayman, all those guys competing the first season as well. Yeah. So there were yeah. We were in the first season of Mima. We went to Phuket. We trained there, and then we did the
A bunch
fun.
of MMA fights you had years and years ago.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's about it. And then after that, I did like Golden Warriors in Penang.
For Golden Warriors as well.
Yeah, for Golden Warriors in Penang. And then what else after that? Yeah, but in between Golden Warriors and Mima, I had like a long break, um, just focusing on work and stuff. So I took that long break, but then I was competing a lot of jiu-jitsu. I was focusing on a lot of jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I was trying to work and build my portfolio, and then I was just mostly focusing on jiu-jitsu. Then I came back to Golden Warriors. Then I started pursuing it again in that sense, kind of like okay, going after it now. And then and then now we're here.
So, alright. Now we're gonna switch a little bit on the topic of at what age did you really pick up the martial art that got you into this path?
At what age?
At what age and what was the martial art that got you into this path?
It's quite late. Oh man, I can't remember numbers now. But I was quite young. I think I started off with Muay Thai. When I was in high school, I used to have my friend's dad, who used to teach my friend and his older brother Muay Thai, but like it was like kickboxing, and I used to always sit down and watch them train, and I was like really interested back then. But then my parents were, of course, they're not gonna be too keen on their kids doing like martial arts and stuff like that. So, I was always fascinated and interested in doing it. And as a kid, I was, always not the best in school. It was, getting bullied. I was quite fat and stuff like that. And so I needed to get into like physical stuff, like I was not really like training, but I was going for like Muay Thai classes, and those were like in Kelana Jaya, like long time ago. And then after that, when I started working, I had more money, and then I could like pay for proper fees. Then I started going to the Malaysian Tigers gym. That's where I met Saiful and few other Malaysian Muay Thai fighters, Ali and Faisal and all this guy. They had a Thai coach back then, Rung Chai, and his Australian wife, and they were running the gym, and they were in charge of like all the Malaysian fighters. So they were there, and I would just go in. I was just like a complete beginner training with all these beasts. These guys were so good, and then like training with them. So I got up to speed pretty fast with my Muay Thai. And then I did like 2 amateur Muay Thai fights, like inter-gym fights. They would always host like inter-gym fights. They did one in that gym itself. And then, I did 2 inter-gym fights. And that's about it. And then after that, and actually I was supposed to do another fight. So this is how I got into MMA. Actually is, after that fight, I had a friend who's a Russian guy. His name is Murad, Ala Murad.
Oh, pretty boy.
Yeah, so Pretty Boy and his other 2 friends used to come to the gym. And then I still have pictures of them from the first Mayhem. So they were the ones who were like, okay, there was some gym issues. So the head coach, the Thai coach, ran away. And then we were all scheduled to like go for this comp. And then we were like, oh, there's no coach, there's no comp. And Alamura was like, hey, why don't you just compete in Mayhem? That's how I found out about Mayhem. That's when I was like, I had zero knowledge about MMA. Nothing. No wrestling, no jiu-jitsu, nothing. And then they put me up with Kai, who had fights in martial combat. He fought guys like Ole Larsen, like big names. And I didn't know anything about like any ground game. I was already into MMA, but I didn't know any wrestling or jiu-jitsu, But it was after that fight that I felt like I was a bit upset, because I felt like I wasn't prepared, you know. Yeah, it was crazy. Like I was like, okay, shit, I got taken down. I was mounted, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what do I do? Like, I felt so lost. And that's when I went and looked up Marcos. I found Marcos, and yeah, like since I found Marcos, we've been training together. We've just been, like got into Mima, and like, he pushed me to go into more like jiu-jitsu and MMA stuff.
Fair enough. That's a long story.
Long time ago.
Alright, last but not least, with the big win in One Warriors,
Yeah.
you along with how many is that? It's you and Jay Slaw right now
Yeah.
are the only Malaysians in One Warriors who has a big win.
Yeah.
Impressive wins, for a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So with this now, what's the plan?
Compete again, like still keep the same focus, still keep the same hunger, nothing's changed really. It's treating every fight like like it's life and death.
I'm gonna rephrase my question.
Yeah.
What is the end goal at with one of
To get that fucking contract, that's it. That's the big money contract, right? You want that contract, like how hard it is for us as fighters to fight and make a living. We are all struggling in a way, financially, and fuck yeah, we wanna get paid, So that's the biggest motivation, and not so much just money wise. You also want wins. You want to make a, you like you want like Malaysian fighters to be on the map, right? So, and I'm happy, and I'm proud to be one of the few Malaysians that can do this. Like we got guys like Agilan, the Suba brothers, Afting, Jihin. We got all these guys already in Aiman. You guys got all these guys in one. They are like already there. So that gives you like, oh man, I want to be like that. I want to get to that place too, So there's always that drive, just even of course like monetary, like you want to get paid, like you want to get paid and you want to get that money, you want to get the big wins, and then you want to finish and get the contract, That's motivation.
How do you fair yourself if you do get that contract?
Yeah.
Do you fair yourself winning that belt?
Fuck yes. Why not? Why not? If guys like Agilan can show the world that we can go to a championship level, guys like Afting who can go to the highest level, and go really close to the belt, like even fight for the belt. I mean, it goes to show that we have so much room, so much space to improve and evolve, and I feel like I have so much to improve on, and I feel like I'm growing now with my new new training, new system in place, like camp, like really having good quality coaches to really focus on you, groom you, guide you. You need that, and that's only going to make you better, so man, I feel yeah, I'm definitely up there with the mix,
That's great then. Well, thank you so much, Shammah.
Thank you, brother.
Good 20 minutes.
Hope not too long. That was 20 minutes. TCs. Thank you, Daniel.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna move first.
Alright, see you, brother.
See you tomorrow.